What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. Apologies for being a little late on getting the next episode out. I was hoping to go live over the weekend, but made some serious progress on the baby room. Happy about that. We're almost wrapped up. So, it is what it is. Real life gets in the way. And here we are. So we got some stuff to talk about. Obviously, it's some news in the NFL world, which typically happens right around this time. So one thing's a little bit different. One thing is, surprising, but not shocking. And again, comes out, typically around this time in the off season when some of these guys have a little bit too much time on their hands. Shout out to the chat. We got Green Bean. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in. Losimo, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Stephen Hines, good day. Some pre-camp news to discuss. Harris, Jennings, Judkins. Yes, definitely some stuff to talk about. So, like I said, there's no shortage of, things that come out typically around this time. It can be frustrating, and it is what it is. But let's dig into it. So first things first, let's talk about the Jennings. Let's talk about the Jennings situation there. Darkside Dev popping in. What's up, man? Thanks for popping in here. Hit that like button, guys, if you don't mind, on your way in, and then we'll get into this. We got a few things to chat about. I want to get into, and then we've got some drafts to do, obviously. So let's talk about Juwan Jennings first and foremost. I don't like this decision by him. It seems to have gone from 0 to 100. Obviously, we have no idea what happened behind the scenes, how long they've been talking, and kind of where things are sitting. But to say, give me a new deal, give me more money, or trade me, like that is pretty interesting, especially when they've stuck by you and they just gave you a good contract before last season. Like, he has outplayed the contract, don't get me wrong, especially considering all the other situations and issues that have come up with that position for the team. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, even Ricky Pearsall getting shot. That's outside of anybody's control. But like, things have popped up. The Ayuk thing is outside of anyone's control, the injury. But the contract situation that's popped up there, right? But I think it's just a little aggressive to go that quick. It seems a little 0 to 100. Again, obviously, I don't know what's happened behind the scenes, and everyone else on that team has gotten paid. So he might be saying, what the fuck, man? I'm sitting here outplaying my contract. The difference is, like, he did just redo his deal last year. So it's like, come on, man. Like, we just did you right. We just did you a deal. We just made it happen. We just paid you more. Has he outpaid the contract? Yes, absolutely he has. He does deserve a little bit more money, but it feels like a little aggressive to just say outright, like, pay me more, give me another contract, or trade me right off the hop. It's just interesting how fast that's gone. And again, I don't know how many conversations or how long that conversation has been ongoing for. So it's just interesting. And again, like, the Niners are in a not great financial situation because of all the money that they've shelled out throughout the offseason. They paid almost everybody. They took care of a lot of guys, including their quarterback and their potential Hall of Famer tight end. So it's a weird situation they find themselves in. It feels like it went from 0 to 100. I don't know if you need to be calling for a trade right off the hop, especially, again, for a franchise that's done a lot to keep you on the team, keep you happy, give you more money, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It just seems a little strange. I think they ultimately get a deal done. I do think he deserves more money. Probably, like, the very least, he deserves like a Josh Palmer type deal, 13 mil a season, something like that. Like, if Josh Palmer's doing that, if Tutu Atwell and Diami Brown are signing 1 year, $10 million deals, I don't think that Juwan Jennings makes that much. Mind you, I haven't even looked, which I should have probably done. Let's take a look at his contract while we're doing it. Let's take a look right out of here. Signed a 2-year, $15 million contract. So yeah, $10 million guaranteed, which he's basically already gotten paid. It's all void. Yeah, he deserves more money. Don't get me wrong. He deserves more money. He's not getting nearly as much as Diami Brown or Tutu Atwell. So, I mean, yes, pay him more, but it's just an interesting situation they find themselves in. Let's see what the 49ers cap space situation looks like. Where are we? They got money. Shit. How do they have so much money? I guess if they're pushing those contracts, they're gonna have to front end load it for Jennings. Give him a 2-year deal, 3-year deal. Give him a 3-year deal with all the money this year and next. I guess is the way to go about it. And I think they do get something done. They just need him. That offense actually really needs Juwan Jennings. He's one of the best. He's one of the best blocking wide receivers in the NFL. He really is. He literally got kicked out of a game last year for blocking a guy too hard. So they do need him, and they should pay him. They got to work something out. They have the money this year. I think they do. I think they will. It's just weird that it came from nowhere all of a sudden. Pay me more money or trade me instantly. That's a little wild. Does he want out? I'm not sure. It's just crazy that it happened that fast. And again, maybe there's been more conversation about behind the scenes that we don't know about. Let's pop back over to the chat. He deserves the money. As a Niner fan, we should just pay him. Yeah, I agree with this. Like, again, I'm on the board with that with the Trey Hendrickson situation with Cincinnati. If you outplay your contract, pay the man and send a positive message to your locker room that states, hey, you outplay your contract, we're going to take care of you. So, and I think that Trey Hendrickson has definitely done that. And I think Juwan Jennings has done that as well, plus 1 year on his deal. So I think there is some room. They do have the cap space. Give him 2 years, 21 mil. There you go. Something like that. I think it's a 3-year deal that makes more sense for him. He's 28 years old. I think 3 years, he gets all the money in the first year and then half of what he got in the first year in the second season. Third year is a bit of a club option type of a situation, and you can kind of work it out from there. But I don't disagree with this. I think they got to make something happen. It must be the wide receiver coach is getting to these guys' head. It's almost every season with these guys. Yeah, I mean, we see the similar thing with Pittsburgh wide receivers as well. We've seen that throughout the past few years. Antonio Brown, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, right? You see it sometimes with certain locker rooms, and maybe it is the wide receiver coach. I don't know, but yeah, either way, we see it, in the same teams that pop up over and over again. Putt Daddy, what's happening, man? Appreciate you popping in here. We got JT Best Ball over here. Appreciate you. These agents talk them into doing these things most of the time. Yeah, I would agree with that. They want to get their commission, they want to get their money, but at the same time, Juwan Jennings has outplayed that contract and he does deserve more money. So at the same time, it does make sense. But again, it's just the speed at which this accelerated to pay me more or trade me. Usually it's a holdout, quietly holding in. That sort of situation, right? But, show up to camp, don't get fined, hold in, don't practice on my hammy, on my tweak my ankle, say whatever the hell you want. You don't have to practice, just be there. Instead of going straight to this, it seems weird to me. That's just a wild talk track that it went that fast. You remember a long time, a 3-year deal was 3 years, not in sports. No, sports are different, man. It's, that's how they get paid. The agents, 100%. Yeah. They want their commission. The second he gets hurt, he's fucked. I can't blame him, to be honest. No, he deserves it, man. He deserves a little bit of security again, especially when the team is taking care of everyone around you and they're not taking care of you enough. Whereas Jennings is going to play a large role in that for that team on that offense this year. He's a potential 1,000-yard receiver. He says he's their wide receiver 1. I don't think they would exactly disagree with that right now. So yeah, I don't blame them. It makes some sense. Welcome to the 49ers salary cap. They knew this bill was coming. Definitely, but they got some money this year. So again, if they can front end load that contract, let's say I don't know, 16 million this season, and then he's guaranteed 8 next season, something like that, or 10 next season. They can make it work for them as long as it's a team friendly deal, heavy signing bonus, do whatever you got to do, just front end load that sucker and get rid of it this year as much as you can. Because they have 45 million salary cap this year. They got a lot of room this year, but they won't, again, like you're alluding to here, Putt Daddy, they won't down the line. It's the same thing with the Detroit Lions. They got a lot of bills coming their way, and they're either going to pay them. It's going to be an interesting situation. But it's how she goes. Bengals, similar situation. We're kind of in that as well, but we're also, cheap a little bit sometimes, poverty franchise sometimes, but either way. So that's the Jennings situation. Lots to talk about there. But we'll see how it works out. Again, I think that they get something done. It makes sense to get it done, and he should be a 49er. And I don't expect him not to be, but there might be a little bit of dip when we're talking draft season right now. It's that hence what I named the episode like that mid-season drafting, where right now we're going to start to get some of this type of news coming out with contract situations, holdouts, that sort of a thing. So talking about holdouts, we got our first official holdout with a second-round rookie, Trey Harris. Right. So everybody probably knows this, I'm sure, but 30 of the 32 second round draft picks are not signed to their rookie contract yet. That's massive news. That's never been the case. Never been the case from our recollection. And we all know why. Why? Jaden Higgins got a fully guaranteed contract, first time in the history of the NFL that's ever happened, for a second round pick. Now, everybody else in the second round is holding out for a same or similar type of a deal, type of a contract, especially if you're, a wide receiver, Luther Burden. So I wrote down all the guys that really matter in the second round as far as fantasy is concerned. There's definitely some offensive linemen in there, right? Like, second round offensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins. I can never remember his name, but left guard, most likely, he's holding out as well. Or sorry, they haven't reported yet. He hasn't signed yet either. So that does affect things, but let's take a look at the position players right now, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. So we got running back Quinshon Judkins, who we'll talk about in a second here. We've got running back Trevion Henderson, wide receiver Luther Burden, quarterback Tyler Shuck, tight end Mason Taylor, tight end Terrence Ferguson, tight end Elijah Arroyo, wide receiver Trey Harris, who we know is already holding out. We got wide receiver Jack Besh, and running back RJ Harvey. All second round selections, all getting drafted typically. Terrence Ferguson, Elijah Arroyo, not every draft. Even Tyler Shuck, not every draft. But all fantasy relevant players. So what are we going to see? What happens here? I mean, we'll see. I don't have an answer. Like, if they're not signed by the time they report, which is within the next week, right? I think the latest reporting for rookies is July 22nd. Which I think is also the same day as the veterans for that team. Realistically, it is very concerning, but I wouldn't be concerned until the veterans report as well. That's when I would be concerned. Realistically, the rookies aren't doing a crazy amount right this second. They're not. So once the vets report, that's when it's time to go to work, really. So if these second round picks aren't signed by the time vets are reporting to the training camp, then we got a problem. Then there's a real problem there and worth talking about, especially with a guy like Trey Harris, who, if he's not signed by the time Quentin Johnston shows up, he's going to be behind the eight ball when we're talking about everything to do with the position and the team and his position on the team, his snap count, his reps, all that kind of stuff is going to come into question. So that's what we don't need to worry just yet, but they better get some deals done, right? 30 of 32, that's crazy. The linebacker for the Cleveland Browns has signed, and Jaden Higgins is obviously signed as well. So everyone else, they've got some situations on their hands, but I wouldn't be too concerned yet until vets report, and that includes the Chargers, who rookies have reported. What was it, 2 days ago on the 12th? Yep. Vets don't report till I think it's at least the 16th. I believe Wednesday. I could be wrong on that. But either way, that's when I'd be really concerned. When vets are in camp, everybody's in camp, the offense and the team is running the way it will throughout the season. That's when we might see some problems popping up. So no need to be super concerned yet, but those are all the players that you want to keep an eye on when we're talking about those second round picks. Definitely JT's boy, he's a Texans fan. Higgins, he's signed. He's good. He's in camp. Definitely a guy that I target in best ball drafts. So hope Higgins is a dog. I think he probably is. I was shocked how fast he ran personally at the combine. But that's your list of second round picks that we need to keep an eye on. Once rookies report, but then more importantly, once veterans report, then we can start to build a narrative around some of these guys and kind of take it from there. Got some wine for the evening. So now let's talk about one of those second round picks. Let's talk about Quinshon Judkins. So first things first, like no matter how you cut it, Quinshon Judkins is a bit of a piece of shit. Like, he did what he did. There's evidence of it. I don't consider this a mistake. Like, there's some things that some of these guys do, drinking and driving, I don't know, whatever else. There's some other mistakes that maybe players make here and there, marijuana possession or something like that. Like mistakes, just a stupid mistake, something you did. This isn't a stupid mistake. He was completely sober from my knowledge. He was driving a rented Lamborghini when it happened. So completely sober to my knowledge. And he did what he did. Like, that's a fact. It's on the police report. There's picture evidence. There's evidence of it occurring. So whatever happened, and it happened. So the only people I always say in these situations, whether it's a domestic violence situation or a sexual assault situation, the only people that know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth are the two people involved, unless there's witnesses that literally saw it or video, right? If those two, take out those two situations with witnesses or video evidence, the only people that know the truth are Quinshon Judkins and the girl that's involved. That's the only people that know the absolute truth of what happened here. But the bottom line is, whatever happened. He did do what he did, right? He did strike this girl. That happened, right? Police report, pictures, it's there. It is what it is. Now, she's clearly on board with whatever's happening here. Sometimes, I should also say, go follow Drew Davenport on X. If you don't, on Twitter, if you don't follow him, go follow Drew Davenport. That's kind of where I look to, the person I look to in these types of situations, to get the lowdown on how it all works and what's going to happen or how it happens, right? So if the victim is on board, which clearly this girl is, because she's the one that reported it, probably through talking to family members, is what it sounds like. That's what it said, it kind of in the police report. So clearly she's on board with something, but like Drew Davenport said, like, she might kind of rescind that, and maybe she just doesn't show up to the court appearance, and then it kind of goes away. Who knows? But then the league can step in and do what they do. So the weird thing, there's all kinds of weirdness with this one. This is one of the weirder ones. It does, I try to reserve all opinion until we have all the facts. We still don't have all the facts, but we do know that he did what he did based on the police report. Like, that's there. There's evidence of it. Like, there's people throwing stuff out there that she could do that to herself. That's a pretty big stretch, man. I'm not if that comes out, then okay. I always will reserve my opinion until I know more, and typically until I read Drew Davenport's opinion on it. I looked to the Xavier Worthy case earlier this summer, where he was basically wrongfully accused, essentially, and the court of public opinion is going to vilify these young men very, very quickly. So the thing that was different with the Xavier Worthy case is he came out right away and said, hell no, that's not true. This wasn't what happened. The truth will come out. He made a statement and said, no, the truth will come out, whatever. I don't remember exactly what he said when he said it, but it seemed like, okay, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't add up. And there's nothing coming out from the Quinshon Judkins camp to kind of refute what's come out with this police report. He's hired a high-level executive lawyer. It seems like where there's smoke, there's fire. With a lot of situations, in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So unless he comes out and says, nope, that's not what happened, the truth's going to come out, whatever, then I'm willing to say, okay, maybe there's more to the story here. She did wait 5 days to report it. That's interesting. Supposedly they had a birthday party and she was there for it, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure the truth or the, how that works, or what happened there, or how it happened, or the timeline. I don't really know. The bottom line is, the police report happened. The pictures were seen. The police officer deemed it necessary to arrest him and hold him on bond. And here we are. There's some interesting things with the amount of dollars, like $2,500 for what seems like a pretty violent, interaction. It typically would be much higher from my understanding of these situations. So that's weird. The 5 days, he's already released. There's a lot of weirdness around this one, but the bottom line is, whatever happened seems like it happened. So I'm going to need to hear something to the contrary to kind of believe Quinshon Judkins or take his side or think this girl's lying or whatever. Nothing's come out that's going to make Quinshon Judkins look innocent or not guilty or like he didn't do what it sounds like he did. So until that does, Quinshon Judkins is a bit of a piece of shit. Like that's just kind of what it seems like. And then there's going to be a suspension is what it kind of looks like as well. So we'll see how this all kind of irons itself out in the next week or so. We'll see when a trial is set, if there's more information that comes out as we get closer to, training camp, and he's still got to sign a contract, and then closer to the preseason and obviously NFL games, that sort of thing. There's still a lot to go with this thing, but chances are he definitely gets suspended. Last year, similar situation with one of his teammates on the Browns, got suspended for 5 games. Maybe that's what he gets. That sounds like a pretty precedent, right around there. 6, I would say 4 to 6 games is kind of like the minimum of what it's going to look like for him. And, think whatever you want to think about him as a person. I'm not here to talk about, besides me calling him a bit of a piece of shit, but like, you put your hands on a woman, there's never an excuse for that. In my opinion, there's really never an excuse for that unless she's like literally beating you. Then, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. But like, there's ways out of it. The ways to get around it without doing what he did, or at least what it sounds like he did. And I've heard nothing to the contrary, that he didn't do what it sounds like he did. So long-winded thing, long-winded conversation. Bottom line, as far as like a fantasy football perspective, is completely different. Think about him however you want to think about him as a person. This is a fantasy football show. And, what it looks like for fantasy football, or for him, for the Browns, for his career, for his season, 4 to 6 games is the most likely scenario in this situation. And almost kind of regardless of what happens, like, there was a police report. It came out. There's a personal conduct policy that the NFL has, that NFL teams have. And chances are, again, I would look at 4 to 6 games. So that's where we're at with that. Wild situation. Hopefully we're done with this kind of news. It's never fun to talk about this kind of news. Like, when it comes to the NFL, obviously we're all NFL fans. We're all fans of these players. We're all fans of teams. Like, we don't want to see this kind of stuff ever. We never do. At least I sincerely hope nobody does. So yeah. And the people that are victory lapping one way or another, like, come on, man. Like, number one, there's no way you could have seen that Quinshon Judkins would get, a domestic violence case before the season opens. And number two, that doesn't make you right on Samson or Ford. Like, it's a little ridiculous that people immediately go to that. But anyways, let's move on. Let's draft. That's all I got about that. Hopefully, like I said, it'll get ironed out as we go, and we'll see what exactly, happens here, and what the punishment is, and blah, blah, blah. But there we are. So let's take a look. Corey's almost full. That's good. I got my one entry in there. Hopefully win that. The Greyhound's almost full. That's filling rapidly. Mini Schnauzer, I'm actually probably not going to draft the Mini Schnauzer, if I'm being honest. Like, cool. It's a cool structure. It's a fine structure. Low entry point, $3. 10K up top. That's pretty nice. Like, I hope if I bank a tournament, it's not for 10K. It's for a bunch more. But as far as time and bankroll is concerned, like, mind you, it's 20 entry, it's $60. I get it, but like, that's a couple BBMs. I just don't need to try to force it in. Same thing with the mini Dalmatian. I didn't do any of the mini Dalmatian either. It's just gonna fill too fast, and I just don't need it in my portfolio realistically. I don't need the stress of sneeze number one. Over under is 1.5 typically. So I just don't need it in my portfolio, so I'm not going to do the mini Schnauzer. But it's a good tournament. It's a good entry point. Where are we at? Best Ball Mania, 37% on the nose for Best Ball Mania. I've got 34 entries remaining. So I kind of want to put the medal down there, or the pedal down there, and get some entries in. But we're going to do the puppy too, because I do need to I got 2 of my Dalmatians in so far. I was literally in the first fast draft for the Dalmatian, literally the first draft. So That's cool. And I just did my second earlier today at 50%. I'll do my last one when it's about 80%. And I'm going to max this one because this is a fun structure. If I'm going to I'd rather do the Dalmatian than try to plow through 20, mini schnauzers. It's just not going to happen. So I'll get one more Dalmatian in later, but we're going to do the puppy too, because I want to get about 50 of these in. And I've got 32 more to do to get to that number. I did 50 of the puppy 1. I'll probably do 50 puppy 2s, and I'll probably do 50 puppy 3s, right? I'm not going to max them because I am maxing Best Ball Mania. But if I wasn't going to max Best Ball Mania, I would be looking to max one of or all of the puppies. That's for sure. Fantastic structure. But let's jump in. 20-second clock. Let's get into one. Waiting on 6. Got some room. And I just want to even out some exposures. I think I have it up to date as I can get. Man, look at all these tournaments. That's crazy. It's crazy how many tournaments there are these days. I have yet to get the 1-1. So that's cool. I've yet to get the 1-1 in the puppy. So that's annoying, but that's all right. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Looks like a friends and family for the most part. One badgeless, one lonely badgeless over here at the 12 spot. We got FK Coolers in the 1. We got Darkside Dev in the 4. We got Lolsimo in the 10. I'm not sure if any of these other guys draft, dude. I don't know if I've even seen that name, but Red Badge. P-Punch drafted with him a bunch. Versace Pythons. Okay. He's got the goat horns. Good for him. Good for him. Should be a fun draft. In the 5 spot, definitely going to get kind of one of the top guys that I like to get. I'm just trying to even out exposures. Not too crazy. Like realistically, I am just trying to get my guys, do what I got to do, even out some exposures. Make sure I get enough of the guys I like in the other tournaments. Haven't drafted Puka yet. That's interesting. Maybe this is a Barkley. If Barkley's there at 5, I'll probably take him. Maybe not. Maybe not. Sorry, Jeremy. Yeah, man, I gotta withhold the BBMs a little bit. Mind you, I do have to get some volume in a BBM, but we're gonna just rip these puppies tonight. It's more of a time box than BBM, so I gotta get my entries in if I want to get what I want to get, which is again 50. So I'll take whoever's there. Obviously, I'm leaving out 1 Gibbs Lamb. Cool. So Barkley or Lamb probably makes more sense just to take Barkley here at the 5. Let's take Barkley, I guess. Yeah, let's get a Barkley share. I'll probably only get like 2 or 3 in my 50. So let's take one. If I'm getting a 5, okay. That I've been saying all draft season, the earliest I'll take Barkley is 5, and I've been true to that word. I don't have very many shares of him, and the earliest I'll take him is at pick 5. Obviously, pick 6, but yeah, let's start it off with the little Saquon action. Emo Cowboy in the house, the big dog over here. He's going on Pete Overzet's channel with somebody else who's less cool than Emo Cowboy, but shout out Tyler, shout out Emo Cowboy. Watched the show earlier today while I was working. Didn't really chat, but I was listening in with Sam earlier today. Sam and on the Fantasy Sanctuary. That was good. Sam and Tom. But shout out Emo Cowboy. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping in as always. Let's see if the badgeless does anything crazy to upset the balance. He doesn't. Amon Ra. It's really interesting at the end. Like I've been saying, I said last week or last episode, it's a lot more interesting being at the end of the draft at the 12-13 spot. You can do a little more different things. You can get different. You can get crazy. You can get unique. You can pull guys up. You get some falling value sometimes. It's an interesting one. I'm doing good, man. Baby's room almost done. That's why I didn't stream over the weekend. I was doing nothing but paint, just huffing paint fumes, which is good. Probably should have worn like some sort of mask. The wife was wearing a big like ventilator mask, which I was like, I made her do that. Obviously, I'm just raw dogging it in there, killing brain cells. So that's good. But I'm doing well. We're getting there. So sipping some good Napa Cab. Let's draft some winners. Absolutely, man. I got a nice Pinot Noir, little Pinot, just grape juice, man. It's just so clean. Little Pinot. I like a good Pinot, man. Like a Napa Cab, that's gonna be like milkshake thick. You know what I mean? Saquon. Let's bring in Tyreek then. If I'm going Saquon, let's get some exciting olds. Unless there's someone else. No. I could take Bowers. They pair up week 15, but let's get some exciting olds over here. But yeah, shout out like Napa Cabs. That's good. Cab. I don't mind cabs. I don't mind cabs. That's for sure. But like you got to have them with like food, probably. Like they're just a lot thicker. I like a good Pinot, man. Nice and light. Nice and light. Our wedding wine was a Pinot Noir. So yeah, can't beat Napa Cab. That's the 1-1. I mean, yeah. Paint fume third eye. What you need to win? Maybe, man. Maybe my huffing the paint fumes has expanded my horizons, opened my mind a little bit. And we're drafting the puppy 2 tonight. That could be something. Vino Verde, our poison of choice ever since Portugal honeymoon. Nice. Yeah. The Italian, the Portugal, right? That's I mean, that's Vino Verde, our poison of choice ever since Portugal. Is that the name of the wine, Vino Verde? Or is it like red wine? Like Verde is obviously red, Vino is obviously wine, red wine. What are we talking about here? Curious. Is that the name of the wine, Vino Verde? Or is it you just saying red wine, but in a cool way? What are we gonna do here before we pop over to the chat again? Could just bring in Josh Allen. Makes a lot of sense here. Haven't really drafted him much in the puppy 2. So maybe I do that. It's not really much for value here. Let's do Josh Allen with Barkley. That feels right. We could have the wide receiver 1, running back 1, quarterback 1. Possible. Not exceptionally likely, but possible. Rombauer. It's like Devontae Adams hitting 1,400 yards this year. Okay. Oh, had a ribeye. Yeah, there you go. It does pair nicely. I had, see that. Yeah, that makes sense. I had a like fettuccine Alfredo with bacon in it. So I thought like a nice light red. I didn't want to go with a white. I know you should maybe with Alfredo sauce, but like honestly, red wine goes with pretty much anything realistically, except for like seafood. So I guess if it was like shrimp Alfredo, then red wine probably would have been the play. But with the bacon, I thought it made sense to go with the light red, which it did. It was good. Here we are. But yeah, with a ribeye, you definitely want like a nice Merlot, heavy cab, something like that, right? You can get a heavy Pinot too. Like Pinot Noirs can be heavy. They're typically a little more juicy, a little lighter, but you can get a heavy Pinot Noir too. But that's a good show right there. It's like white wine with immature grapes, so fitting. Kind of like a nice rosé, maybe sort of thing. I'm a big rosé guy too. Rosé all day, baby. I've definitely had rosé on this channel before, but did it right with the Pinot. Yeah, I think it made sense. I thought it made sense. I do have a heavy Merlot in the cupboard as well, but I thought the Pinot would have been the better play, and it did work out. It was good, and the Pinot is still good. So, what are we gonna do? I mean, James Cook would make some sense. A little falling value on Tetaroa. McMillan. Cook goes. Okay, so I guess I just take Tet. Get the exciting young with the exciting old. Yeah, let's do it. Little Tampa Bay action between those two teams. So we can look at a Tampa Bay player at some point down the road. I think could make some sense. Got a little correlation here. Josh Allen, Saquon. That's fun. That's fun. We'll talk about Quinshon Judkins when we get there. Talk about that, where he should go, where he's going to fall to, whatever. Love a nice rosé, man. Rosé is just the best of both worlds, man. It is. It really is. It's the best of both worlds. I'm a big rosé fan personally. Our wedding champagne, as in sparkling wine, was a rosé, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. We ended up with one bottle extra at the end of it. I had like 3 cases of red and like 2 cases of white and 1 bottle of the rosé. Mind you, we had more. We had way more bottles of the red and the white than we had the rosé, but I kind of wish we ordered like an extra case of the rosé. It probably would have, I don't know if we would have went through more, but I would have taken a case of that rosé and just sat on it, But here we are. Here we are. Kenny Walker, Chuba's kind of off the board for me with this Tet pick. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. Kenny Walker makes a ton of sense. Pair with Tet, and then we're kind of ahead of the game at running back as well. I think that makes some sense. Let's do that. Let's go Kenny Walker. Got a little correlation, little thing going on for week 17 here. Feels good. I like where we're sitting. Plus, we could look at a Tampa Bay player, and then that would give us a little more correlation even. So yeah, I like this. I like this build so far. I like the way we're going here. I like the way we're going. The draft rooms are interesting right now. They're definitely interesting right now. We're seeing Joe Burrow pop back up. Like I think I said, I'll have to go back and maybe watch it, but I think I said it's hard to imagine him falling past like 62. I think I remember saying that. And I think he got to 62 and he's bouncing back up. And now people are doing stuff that I was saying and I was doing earlier this season, where like, if you have some other correlation, take Joe Burrow. Like, fuck these guys. Don't let them get him at 72, 73. I like it when it happens to me. I've got him at 72, 73. Feels real good. But like, if I have Tyreek Hill and, let's say it's a Chase Brown, Tyreek Hill, you could bring in Zay Flowers, those types of, or like a McBride, you have the bringbacks. I'll take Joe Burrow. Like, you got to have some correlation, like a little bit. Like, again, if I had Tyreek here, and then let's say I had Marvin Harrison here, I would take Joe Burrow. Well, I would take him at 68. I wouldn't take him at 53, but I would take him at 68, and that's something that I've been doing a bunch, is like, if I have that like unforced correlation with Joe Burrow, like if Tyreek is the pick and Trey McBride is just the pick, then yeah, maybe I would take Zay Flowers at 53 and say, okay, like I'm going to get Burrow if he's there. And if he's not, I still have a quality build. I'm still happy with my build. So it seems like other people have been doing that. We got Chase Brown here. That's pretty much the only correlation, but I'm not sure I agree with this exact, example, but we've been seeing that a little more. Well, Waddle falls into that conversation as well. So there's a lot of pieces that go up this top half of the draft where you get to the 6th round and you could just say, like, if Joe Burrow's there, I'm just going to take him and, I'll worry about it later. So we're going to go Chris Olave here. Like, I think Judy makes some sense, but I might look at getting some Njoku shares. I'd like to bump that up a little bit. Let's get some Olave. Pairs up with McMillan too. That's cool. In week 15, sure. Not a big concern of mine, but I do like Olave there. A couple picks, ADP value. Let's get a share. I need a wide receiver here anyways, so makes some sense. Judy makes some sense as well, but K-Walk always makes sense. Absolutely. Big K-Walk drafter myself. If you've been watching the show, you know that. So in the preseason more so than this, but or the pre-draft, I should say. In the big board season, I was drafting them a ton. And kind of catching up now on my K-Walk, to be honest, but we'll get there. Got one in back-to-back, went Chase Higgins, Chase Brown, capitalized the BR, that kind of confused me. And both tried to push Burrow and got sniped on both. about 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't do that. Like, if I have that, if I'm going for that and it's banking on that, I just take him at 48, 49. I just do. Again, he's not falling anymore. Like, he fell to, let's say, about, I think he got to 62 ADP wise, but he's moving back up the board. So I'm going to, if my stack revolves around that game and Joe Burrow, if I have Chase, McBride, and T. Higgins, I'm taking Burrow at 49. I'm just doing it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to click his name and move on. Let's take Shakir because I haven't really taken him. Let's match him up with Josh Allen. Let's just get a little bit of share of that. I mean, I could go Myers, I could go Reed, and those are probably better clicks in my opinion than Shakir. Definitely Reed anyways. But I've got my exposure to Reed, pairs up with Josh Allen. I've got the Barkley bring back. Let's get a little bit of exposure to Shakir on this one. But yeah, Burrow's moving back up the board. So I don't think it makes sense. Like, again, in the situations I just brought up, or if you have, say, just Jamar Chase and just Trey McBride, then yeah, push him. So I agree with FK, what FK did here for sure. Like, yeah, push him. Who cares? Like, you'll get your shares of Joe Burrow if you really want to or need to. You already have probably, or you can get them later in the summer as well. But if I'm going Chase, McBride, and Higgins, then I'm just taking Joe Burrow here. Because again, there's people like me out there that if I have Tyreek or, McBride and Waddle and Zay, all the guys that I mentioned earlier, there's Chase Brown in there, there's Tyreek, there's all these other options that you can build around with the bringbacks. I'm just going to take Joe Burrow and worry about it later. That's just where I'm at with it. I always kind of have been, and some people don't agree with me on that. But realistically, if you have pieces in the games, how does it not make sense to take Joe Burrow? I don't get it. I really don't get how people are arguing that, or how people say that take naked Jalen Hurts makes sense, but taking naked Joe Burrow doesn't. Like, I mean, it's just a weird conversation that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I don't agree with taking them absolutely naked. And mind you, I don't agree with taking Jalen Hurts naked either. So I'm not doing that either. I'm lower on Hurts than Burrow, that's for sure. I'm lower on Hurts than Jane Daniels and Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I'm lower on Hurts than all of these quarterbacks in this range, all these other elites, right? But I don't think he's as valuable as people think, being this alleged rushing quarterback, but he just doesn't have the passing volume to get him there. Like, his ceiling points per game is high. I get that, but his season long is not that massive. And realistically, like, that's kind of what we're playing, because you do have to get there. And then I agree, you have to, have those high ceilings, of course, but you also have to get there. And both Joe Burrow and Hurts have, in my opinion, the same ceiling. I'm going to take Higgins here. Yeah. Higgins is kind of a smash for me. It's kind of a smash for me. So let's take him. I can worry about the other kind of onesie positions later. Pepper Tony, what's up, man? What's happening? Appreciate you popping in here. Hit that like button for me, guys, if you don't mind. For just popping in. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you appreciate the content. We're drafting all summer. Trying to be a little more consistent, but now that some chores are done around the house, I should be done this baby room by this weekend for sure. We should be done. And then I'll have a little more time. And then once training camp opens, then we gotta lock it in too. We gotta lock it in once training camp opens and get serious. I'm excited about football. I'm watching quarterback right now with Joe Burrow. So cool, man. God, he's so cool. It's a good one. And Goff's all right. Cousins is the same as he was last time he was on the show. But yeah, it's a good one. I got to get into, or I will get into Hard Knocks once that gets going. That'll be good. I'm on episode 3 tonight. Nice. I just finished episode 3. Literally before watching, I was eating dinner, eating my fettuccine, my bacon fettuccine, having my Pinot, and watched episode 3. So, yeah, it's getting me jacked up too, buddy. I'm getting jacked up for football. I'm excited. I also think I'm gonna do something this year. We're gonna bank a tournament over here. We're gonna do something good this year. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Fingers crossed, anyways. It's Jaylen Warren. Nice. Smash Jaylen Warren. Need that. Needed that. I need to get my Jaylen Warren bags up. That's for sure. That's a smash pick for me there. Really need to get my Jaylen Warren bags packed a little bit more. A lot of people have been talking about it, but I absolutely agree that, like, not only is Arthur Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, none of those figures on the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to tolerate any mistakes made by a rookie running back, especially blitz pickups, things like that. So if that's what keeps Jaylen Warren on the field, I mean, I have a lot of Caleb Johnson. I do like Caleb Johnson, but I do need to pack my Jaylen Warren bags more than they are right now. That's for sure. So, and more than just in puppies. I need to get them in Best Ball Manias, even hedge it with the Dalmatian, maybe something like that. But that's a fairly large focus for me right now. Who aims in the house? Whose house? What's happening? Appreciate you popping in. We're going to rip one more draft after this. For sure. Where did Judkins go? Is it still on the board? Went at 85 to the Badgeless. The Badgeless Wonder. Interesting team. Interesting team that he's building over there. That's all right. We all got to start somewhere, We all got to start somewhere. Yeah, he's building this like that's a big mistake I'm seeing right now with a lot of like new drafters, Badgeless drafters that are coming in here, obviously new to Best Ball, is they're building it like a managed redraft team. That's what this team is here. Like, that's what we got here. It's a perfect example of a guy building a managed, redraft team with his buddies. Like, this would probably be an okay team, an okay draft. But for Best Ball, it just doesn't make sense. Njoku would have been my guy for sure. And he goes a few picks ahead of ADP. That's kind of annoying, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Would have been nice to pair up with our Josh Allen. Andrews probably would have been nice. Najee makes some sense here. Najee makes a lot of sense here. So let's do that. Superficial eye injury. I'm not concerned. I think something would have come out by now if there was some serious concern there. Definitely going to be done at 5 running backs too. Two quarterbacks, 5 running backs. That feels good. 2-5-8-3 is basically what we're looking at for sure. It's not off the table. I could stop at 4 really, but I don't think I will. I think I will take a 5th running back just because my wide receiver room's a little thin. Wow, that doesn't have anything to do with my running back room, but I still think I'll take a 5th. Pairs up with my Higgins. I don't think I want to go Kirk here, even if he's there with Najee. I think I'm just going to mini stack that game. I've got a lot of week 17 correlation. I'm not really drafting for that right now. Even the Harrison Higgins wasn't intentional. It just kind of made sense as the best kind of pick on the board. Tajay Spears could make some sense here. Kyle Williams could make some sense, but I don't think I'll go down that road. Tucker Kraft makes a good amount of sense. Herbert doesn't at all. Stroud, I guess, could, but I don't think I have to go down that road. Let's go Tucker Kraft. Let's do that. I like that. Get my tight end 1. I'm a big Tucker Kraft believer personally. If Kincaid falls to me, I'll take him, but I'm definitely not pulling him up there. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'll take him if he falls. BBG, what's up, baby? Appreciate you popping in. BBG's going live later tonight. I believe in 40 minutes, 39 minutes to be exact. Best Ball guys going live. How many drafts you're up in tonight? Probably 2 or 3 drafts, I'd imagine. I'll probably pop in there after I'm done streaming. See what you're drafting. Rip some stuff. I got some volume to get to, as we all do. Typically, we all do. Right around now, I've got to get, like I said, about 30 more puppy 2s in, and just chip away at my BBMs. Still want to get some sprints in. I want to get some eliminators in. Yeah. Am I taking any Judkins as he falls? No, to a point I will. Like, if he get like at 85 where this badgeless guy took him, not a chance. But I've seen him fall like pushing the hundreds, late 90s, that sort of thing. And I have clicked him before the most recent news came out. It's such a weird situation, man. It is such a weird situation what's going on with that whole Quinshon Judkins situation. It's odd. It doesn't particularly all add up, but like it sounds like he did what he did, and that's just pretty unacceptable. And I think a suspension is definitely coming. It's definitely imminent. Let's just go Kincaid here. I like that. I like this team. It's building out nice, but it's just weird. It's weird how it happened. I took a share at 91, 10 minutes before the sheep plans to prosecute was added. Yeah, like I did. I took them like in the late 90s before today's news came out. Now I'm not really drafting them until we get some serious clarity. I have a lot of exposure to them already, unfortunately for me, but we'll see where it all lands and what all kind of transpires in the next little bit. He's basically off my list right now. Like, there's everything considered with the offense and the team that he plays for and everything. It's just really not like, you don't really need it, I don't think. So probably not. Like, his teammate, what was it, Michael Hall? His teammate last year, similar situation. He got suspended 5 games last year. So it could be this year. It could be next year. We'll kind of see how everything plays out. Like if BBG, if you don't follow Drew Davenport, go follow Drew Davenport like right now on Twitter. He's a phenomenal follow. It's definitely Tillman. Super happy he fell to me here. That's fun. Go follow Drew Davenport. He breaks it down. He's a lawyer. He dealt with situations like this. He breaks it all down. But it's still possible this could completely go away. And like, we still don't know everything. Like I said in the pre-show when we talked about it, like, the only people that know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth is Quinshon Judkins and that girl. His girlfriend, whatever, I don't know her name is. It hasn't come out yet, but whatever, whoever it is, those are the only people that know the absolute truth. There was no witnesses. There's no video. It's her word against his. They're the only ones that know the absolute truth of what happened. So, but, going off of the police report, it sounds like he did what he did, and it's pretty unacceptable under any circumstances. So, pretty shitty thing all around for sure. So no, it still could be this season. Even if it goes away, the NFL could still suspend him. And again, his teammate, similar situation last year, 2nd round pick as well, I believe. He got suspended 5 games last season. So it could happen this season. It could happen next season. We don't know. It's going to take some time. That's why I'm just not drafting him right now, because I have, my bags are pretty packed. At least you don't have 1,100 of him. I mean, I got a lot. We can take a quick peek. Let's see. My pre-draft. I've got $568, 17%. My current draft season, $484, 18%. So I'm not sure if you're adding up pre and post draft, but we're probably pretty similar, I would imagine. So pretty packed up. Don't need to force it. I saw Cleveland after he got drafted to the Browns. Yeah, that's fair. That's probably the right thing to do. Pepperoni. That was probably the right way to go about it. Big pre-draft bags. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I started hot and heavy, but had to slow down, obviously. And here we are. I was going to take Bryce Young, but he goes. So let's just take Tua. Let's just get Tua. Make it easy. Pair him up with Tyreek. Bing, bang, boom. Then we're done at quarterback after that. That makes it easy. Got a nice value on him. Over a round of value on Tua. Perfect, quarterback to pair Tua with Josh Allen. So that feels nice. Domestic usually gets done that year. Yeah, I think it probably would. We'll see. I think it's a minimum. I think we're going to see 4 to 6 weeks of a suspension is what I would imagine. It's the precedent that they've set literally last season, almost carbon copy situation. So probably we'll see. Yeah, I got like 850 pre-draft. Dang, that's more than me. But similar amount post-draft or total, similar amount total. Because my bags are pretty packed. 5 whatever plus 4 whatever, just over 1,000 for me total. So that's how she goes. Pretty frustrating, but there's more important things in the world, I guess. But Pop Douglas makes nothing but sense here. Pairs up with our Josh Allen situation. Yep. That's easy. Let's do that. NFL will not want the optics. He gone this year if he did it. He's not. He'll be suspended. Like, again, 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be suspended for sure. Ford is a smash. Damn, I got a lot of Ford. I got a fair amount of Ford going. So I'm not a big Samson guy. Like, I just wasn't a big Samson guy pre-draft. Like, his tape wasn't very exciting to me at all. But I could be completely wrong, and I need to start drafting some Samson because, like, it's a Kyron situation. I really didn't like Kyron's tape, and I know the team liked him, so I drafted him a little bit before he broke out. And then I don't love his price, but different story altogether. But either way, like, I didn't like the tape. So there's been a few situations that have popped up where it's like, I just don't like this guy's tape. And I was not that I was completely wrong. It just worked out in the situation, right? Like a Kyron thing. The team loved him. Maybe the Browns love Samson. So I do need to get a little more Samson. But Ford is definitely a quality pick now. That's for sure. But again, 4 to 6 weeks, like, Quinshon could still be a good fantasy football selection depending on where he goes. So I don't know where he goes. Like, 4 to 6 weeks of Quinshon Judkins. Let's say it's the first 4 to 6 weeks. Ford goes early now, round 16. Okay. He hasn't been in drafts I did earlier today. He was still going in the 18th round. Let's do. Wow. Oh no. Meant to get Marshawn Lloyd in there. Let's do Wandale, I guess. Okay. We're doing Wandale. I was hoping someone else would be there. Who took Brashard Smith for me? Knowing that I wanted to click him. Oh, this random badgeless, eh? Okay. That's what I was going to default to, was Brashard Smith. I was hoping Cade Otton would be there. Not shocking that he wasn't, but I was hoping he would be there. Lolson will take him. DJ Giddens would have been an easy click. Brashard Smith would have been an easy click. Maybe even Jerome Ford. But they're all gone. So I panic, get Wan'Dale Robinson, not really a guy that I wanted. Do need another tight end. Ferguson would be fun. 2 vets. It's either like Juwan Johnson, who I have a ton of, or Terrence Ferguson. Let's go T-Ferg if he's there. Should be there. And then do I stop at 4 running backs? I might. I might just stop at 4 running backs. It's a quality room. If Saquon's the guy, then we're fine. Let's just bring in Terrence Ferguson here, and then we'll see what ends up in our lap. Yeah. We'll see what ends up. Damn. Falling behind in the chat here. I would simply not punch a woman in the face. So I was looking at Generoso well for playing the game. Absolutely. Like, absolutely. There's no excuse. There's no excuse whatsoever for what he did under any circumstances. There's no excuse. So it's not a young kid made a mistake for me. Like, I'm the first to say, you know, second chances, made a mistake, stupid mistake, you know, whatever, give him a second chance, blah, blah, blah. I'm the first to say that. But under no circumstances is it okay for you to hit a woman. Like, there's tons of ways around it from the police report. There's tons of ways that he could have avoided doing what he did, and he didn't. He did it. Sounds like he did it. There's nothing coming out saying he didn't. He's not coming out saying he didn't, like Xavier Worthy did, right? So it's pretty unacceptable. Oh my God, we're the same. Pretty much the same. Pretty much. I'm assuming you're talking about our dollars. Yeah, pretty much exactly the same as our bags. My 14% Judkins and Limfield's Uber bag. Yeah, I don't know what I got in the limb and the sprint and stuff like that, but it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. Pretty bad, not bag, but I got you. The Kareem Hunt and Ray Rice were aggressive by the NFL because there was video. Yeah, like, again, the only people that know the truth in this situation is him and her. So 30% BBM share of Samson through 75 drafts feels nice right now. Definitely would. Yeah, it definitely would. Definitely would feel pretty good. But I mean, Judkins, again, he's only going to get 4 to 6 weeks. Like, almost certainly. That's the precedent that's been set by the NFL. So it's almost certain that that's what he ends up with. We'll see. Maybe something different happens, but we'll see. We will see. That's my assumption, is he gets 4 to 6. I think we're going to stick with just, mind you, Keaton Mitchell can make some fun sense. I mean, I got Shakir. That's right. I was worried about another Buffalo piece, but I've got Shakir. Let's go Keaton Mitchell. Let's bring a little fun into our lives in our running back room. Considering it's like, I feel like it's like a free pick. That's the perfect time to take a guy like Keaton Mitchell, where it's a complete roll of the dice. It's like a free roster spot. Let's get it. Let's get it. That does feel good though. That feels good. Some are calling him Gen Z Joe Mixon. Yeah, I mean, Joe Mixon, that was something else, man. Joe Mixon is an absolute piece of shit human being. He's this generation's Ray Rice. Jeez. Speaking of suspension, is Addison's trail like tomorrow or something? I'm not sure. Let's look at it. Jordan Addison's trial. July 15th, tomorrow. Yeah. Determine the outcome of charges stemming from his arrest near a Los Angeles airport. He's pled not guilty to the charges. I think the NFL will suspend him regardless. So I don't like, the trial is just like the final step before they do what they're going to do. Because I mean, if he's obviously like guilty, I suppose like he could get fined. There could be some other legal ramifications for Jordan Addison. But as far as like the NFL suspension is concerned, it's just the last step before they move in and ultimately suspend him. But I think Jordan Addison's will only probably be like 2 to 4. Like, it's non-violent, you know, DUI. Wasn't he like high on weed gummies or something like that and just parked on the freeway? Isn't that what it was with Jordan Addison? So I think it's like 2 to 4 weeks for him. But we'll see. There's no exact precedent for that. But we'll see. He needed more RB. I did. Probably. The start of the Ty Felton DVD. Big step. Oh, what's happening, man? I don't mind Ty Felton. I'm a Jalen Lane guy over Ty Felton personally, but Deshaun Watson signed the top quarterback contract while under a huge sexual assault cloud of allegations. Since when does the NFL care about optics? I'd be shocked if Judkins misses any games this season. It's definitely possible. He could miss nothing this season. He probably will get suspended somewhere. Like I said, it's almost certainly gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. Is it this season? Is it next season? And how many games? To me, 4 to 6. And when is it going to happen? That's all. Basically, that's what it boils down to, in my opinion. We'll see what happens, but I mean, it could get completely dropped, and then some more information could come out, and then the NFL does nothing. Like, again, go follow Drew Davenport on Twitter. He kind of lays it out. It's like, we are going way too far down the line here, guys. We have to let more information come out. We have to let a few things kind of settle before we make any assumptions or any final judgments as far as like fantasy football is concerned. So it's a weird one. It really is a weird one. So I just took Ford early here because he fits my construction. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's P-Punch. What's up, man? In the draft. Appreciate you popping in. Good drafter, P-Punch. Shout out, man. Shout out. I've definitely drafted with you for a couple of years now. That's for sure. Jerome Ford. Yeah, you needed a running back. That's fair. You need a running back. Early season too with Monagai. I get that. Anybody ever tell you that you look like Andy Holloway from the Footballers? I guess I could see that. No, I don't think anyone has told me that, but I guess I could see that one. A lot more than some of the other guys I've been told I look like. I have one of those faces. I'm just like, I look like a lot of people. He's the Canadian Andy Holloway. That's so funny. Yeah. I look like a lot of people. I have one of those faces. The limb total points, way more effective than BBM style, for sure. Absolutely. He was drunk and slept. Well, I thought he was high on weed gummies or something, but I don't think his vehicle was moving or something. Not sure. Yeah, I thought he was like high on weed gummies and he parked in the freeway, like on the on-ramp or off-ramp on a freeway. Like, you can't park your car there. You know what I mean? He was definitely driving impaired, not hating. Yeah, he was parked on an off-ramp. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's high on weed gummies. He just pulled over and stopped his car, just got overwhelmed. Pulled over, said, it's better than driving all fucked up. Let's just stop and sleep this off, I think is what happened. But drunk in his car, sleep or something. Pound, what's up, man? Pat popping in. Appreciate you. New BBO update just dropped. Dang, I don't even have that. I got to get the new update. I don't even have that installed. What's changed? Is it the new exposures? Shout out Pat. Shout out BBO. Shout out BBO. Did you see it on the screen? Promo code OTS down in the link below. Save $10 on your good chance to promo. Good chance to promo, Pat. Link OTS, promo code OTS, link in the description. $10 off, 25% off. I've been saying it this whole time. Like, you guys, everybody should just go make a free account regardless. If you feel like you want to pay for it, you like the product, you want to use it, promo code down in the description there, OTS, helps me out, helps Pat, whatever. But bottom line, you absolutely should go create a free account over there. There's a bunch of free tools. I've been preaching this, and not just because I have a promo code. Trust me, I don't make money off of this, but it just makes sense, and it's a good tool for anyone and everyone. It's free. There's not a lot of free tools out there. There's not a lot of free information that's concrete, that you can say is absolute true information. And you can get that over there. So shout out to BBO. Go over to click the description, make a free account. If you want to pay for it, use my code. Cool. Kelly, Cleveland will have the upper hand in the contract negotiations. Definitely. I think Judkins should just sign his contract and get his ass into camp and hope this gets smoothed over. That's what he should do. Just play football. We're going to jump into a second draft here. Jumping in the puppy 20-second clock. Jumping in, waiting on 5. Get in if you want. If you want to draft with me, we'll keep going through these comments. Punching a chick is such a bitch move. Yeah. He's definitely, like, it sounds like he did what he did. And again, it's not like the Xavier Worthy situation where he came out straight away and said, I didn't do this. This is all wrong. The truth will come out. Whatever he said, I can't remember exactly, but nothing like that has come out whatsoever about this Judkins situation. So it sounds like he did what he did, and he's a piece of shit. Like, under no circumstances should you be putting your hands on a female like that. So, yeah. We talked about it a bunch pre-show and stuff like that. Why isn't Naylor above Felton? The ranks do it at like 6 touchdowns last year. It's the new shiny toy. I think Naylor should be for sure. I'm not drafting Naylor or Felton personally. I'm not drafting a lot of Vikings at all personally, except for Mason. Jordan Mason, I got bags just crammed, packed full of Jordan Mason shares. And TJ Hawkinson, I'm drafting a fair amount as well. And, when I can get a discount on Addison, I'll take it. And I'm trying to just get some. I'll be below the field on Justin Jefferson, but I don't want 0. So, yeah, but I think Naylor should be the guy above Felton. Personally, it's just the new shiny toy syndrome. Does the new update revert Underdog back to old format? Yeah, write a letter, Hames. Write a letter to Rudman and see if he helps you out. Combo tool goes based off ADP now, removes players as they're drafted. Nice. Shout out Josh. Shout out Pat. I love the product. I'm liking it. So hopefully you guys do too. Like I said, go make a free account, man. It's free. There's some solid tools in there that are absolutely free. If you want to pay for it, you feel like you could use it. I think people should if you're drafting in volume, but doesn't make me right. But if you want to, promo code OTS in the description there. Get yourself a little discount. Apparently, he's a hothead too. Ole Miss basically forced him to transfer out, even though it was reported as mutual. I heard he's nothing but a really good kid. Actually, is everything I've heard. How the fuck does CeeDee Lamb go at 9? God, why can't it ever be me? Jeez, insert meme. God, I've seen what you've done for others, and I want that for me. Meme. Let's take Achan. I don't have any Derrick Henry in this tournament, which is I don't know. But man, CeeDee Lamb at 9, that is really fun. That's got to feel really, really good. I've heard nothing but good things, though. Yeah, nothing but good things about Judkins. Even what's his name, Kurt Benkert, earlier today was tweeting about how much of a good kid he is and best kid he met at the whole rookie camp and all that. Let's take Drake. Let's just take Derrick Henry. Let's do it. Let's have some fun here. Kind of standing up for him, saying he needs more information, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, man, once the police report comes out and it's crickets from the Judkins camp, that's pretty damning, Kurt Benkert. I wouldn't be saying stuff like that personally. So yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him as a kid, which is interesting. So I don't know. It's a weird one. We just need more information, and we need more of the process to take place. So we won't get that with time. We just need a little more time, a little more information, and yeah. Man, I would have went Drake London. How do you not take Drake London with CeeDee Lamb here when you're never going to get that pairing? At least not very fucking often. It's interesting. This guy passes on the Puka London. I get Nico over London, but that's obviously a week 17 matchup. But if it's me, I'm taking CD and Drake London. I've taken CeeDee Lamb at 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever. Never got him at 9. And if I could get Drake London to fall even, 1 pick passes ADP, I'm going to take him because you're just never going to get that. I don't know, especially in the puppy too, in this kind of time box tournament, how many Lamb London starts they're going to be. You're way more likely to be able to get Lamb AJ Brown at any other point. Pick CeeDee Lamb at 5 or 6. Chances are very, 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 very high you can get AJ Brown at 19-20. I just those are the little details too about best ball that you just have to take Drake London there for me. You have to. You just have to. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But That came out after this incident. Before that, you heard he was good. Yeah. Yeah. So it might be false. Maybe he just hit it. Yeah. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. Maybe he's just good to dudes. Maybe he's just good to the fellas. He's one of the boys. Oh, man. Best Ball on Call says the new BBO update is sick for what it's worth. Man, I got to get that hooked up. I think it came out actually, and I just haven't had time. I just didn't get my ass in gear on it. So I need to get that downloaded and up and running on the overlay. Any little edge you can get helps, man. Darkside Dev going a little high T, going a little different here. Neighbors brings up Brees Hall, takes a Marion Hampton. So bringing a couple guys up, flipping the board a little bit. Flipping the board. Interesting. I don't hate it. Not hating, that's for sure. Definitely not hating. It's just different. It's definitely different. Definitely different. Definitely unique. Fantasy Mutant. Cool. Let's take JSN. Haven't taken him at all yet in this tournament, so let's do that. Let's get some JSN in our lives. Have to go wide receiver, really. I would have taken Tet there, pair him up with JSN. But let's bring in some... Do I want to go DJ more? Yeah, I want to go DJ Moore. Let's get a wide receiver here. I was thinking about Kittle, but let's go DJ Moore. We got to catch up a little bit. I think it just came out today. Okay. It's hard for me to remember when I see things. I saw it on Twitter. I saw Pat talking about it on Twitter. It's hard to remember if I saw it today or a week ago, if I'm being honest. Can you use it on your phone? No overlays work on the mobile. No overlays. So it's just on desktop. Unfortunately, I mean, there'd be too much going on your smartphone. You can use it on tablets, I believe. Tablets, laptops, but not on smartphones. No, none of them. No overlays work. Not the Sidekick, not Spike Week, not Best Ball overlay. None of them work on mobile, unfortunately. Do you just download the extension again? Yeah, you just go on Best Ball overlay, download the new extension, delete the old one from your browser, and then re-upload the same way you initially put the BBO on put the extension on the same way. You just do it the same way, and you'll get the new extension. So it takes like 5 minutes, not even. It takes 2 minutes to get the new extension up. I don't think mobiles have yet. No mobiles on any overlays. None. Disbanded. Bringing in the AI sequence. Appreciate you, dog. Guess it's time to get a tablet. Yeah, tablet, maybe a little laptop action. I like laptops personally. I mean, obviously I'm streaming too, so doing that, but like I have 2 screens going, so sometimes I make use of that when I'm drafting and have just all the information I can. Typically not, it's just my computer, but I like having a large screen. I like drafting on a laptop. I wouldn't say desktop, but I like drafting on a laptop. Maybe I'm just old, which is very possible. I especially with the overlay, like I guess if the overlay somehow worked on a mobile, I guess I could do that, but it would just be too much going on. And it'd be too just, I don't know, it wouldn't look good. So that's why none of them work on mobiles. Well, I don't know if that's why, but that's a big reason why. But yeah, I like drafting on a larger screen. Number one. Number two, I like having the overlay, obviously. Let's just do a Dunes, eh? It's my guy if he's there. I only have 11% in this though, so there you go. Let's go Roma Dunes, eh? I would take Jennings if he's here. You know, I mean, some risk with that, but obviously it pairs up with my Chicago if he stays in San Francisco, which I do expect. Badgeless could just take Joe Burrow here. So if and it's only $5, like let's just get Jennings here. Wow, brings in Montgomery here. Interesting running back start. Not anything I would ever do personally, but okay. Doesn't make me right. Let's bring in Jennings. Let's do that. Catching up at wide receiver, obviously. Got a little game stack action there. So let's do that. Let's do that. Basically the exact opposite of me. 2 RBs start, then 4 wide receivers. 4 wide receivers start, then 2 RBs. And whose team do you like better? Looking at these two teams, pick 11 and pick 12. Flip the board, exact opposite. 2 running backs, finishes 2 running backs. Whose team looks better? To me, it's mine, for sure. JSN, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Juwan Jennings versus Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas. Obviously, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, JSN, and DJ Moore. Mind you, DJ Moore and Brian Thomas is relatively close. JSN and Brian Thomas is relatively close. Amon-Ra is the number 1 for sure. Mike Evans, there's some question marks there. Ted McMillan, rookie, question marks there. Rome, Juwan Jennings, like overall. And then the running backs aren't even in the same stratosphere. So I like my team more personally. Terry McLaurin with Jane Daniels feels nice. Don't like the Joe Mixon click, but Trevion Henderson, I like that. Puka Nico. Skippy built, eh? I don't know if I like this at all. Don't mind Chuba there. Don't mind RJ Harvey, but I don't like the Kyron click. I guess you got him late. I don't like this build personally. That's just me. Let's see what Who Ames is doing. Shout out Who Ames in the chat, in the draft. We got P Punch in the chat, in the draft. We got Darkside Dev in the chat and in the draft. Appreciate you guys drafting with me. We had Gibbs, McConkey, Trey McBride, little fall. That feels good. Jameson Williams, Devonta Smith, and Jordan Addison. Addison with Gibbs. Also with Jameson Williams. Don't mind that. Little bully quarterback situation going on here. He's going to be in tough to catch up at wide receiver, but we'll see if he can land that plane. Judkins is there. A little too doesn't make sense for me to take him personally. Downs would have been my click in a second. Let's do Igbuka. Let's do a Mecha Igbuka. This guy could take Mayfield on me, because that probably will be my click. Pairs up with my Achan, right? Week 17, Igbuka, Achan, Baker. Let's do that. Feel pretty good about how I caught up at wide receiver. And then my running back room is already in a very good spot. Obviously, Derrick Henry and Achan. Very, very happy with that. My first 2 picks. I like the way this team is building out. Man, this guy just ruins the CeeDee Lamb at 9, hey? CeeDee Lamb at pick 9, and he just continues to poop his pants. Why would you take Patrick Mahomes with this build? Pairs with Harvey, I guess, but like, why wouldn't you just take Worthy at 40 then? Gets a gift of CeeDee Lamb at 9 and then just poops in his pants after that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. your wide receivers don't match up to his. No, they definitely don't. But it's not that far off either. Like Rome to Tet, honestly, like pretty close, really close. Juwan Jennings to Tet, really close. Emeka Egbuka to Tet, really close in my opinion. Yeah, Tet, but not that far off. One injury and give me Egbuka over Tet. And then DJ Moore and Jackson Smith and Jigba and versus Brian Thomas is like, it's close. Still Brian Thomas, but it's pretty close. Amon-Ra's number one, but my running backs are far and away better. Takes both the Minnesota running backs. Yeah. My RBs are better. Definitely prefer the receivers, to be honest. No, so do I, no doubt. I'm talking about the whole team, like the teams as a whole. My team versus his team through 6 rounds. As a whole, I like mine better, personally. If you like his, cool. That's fine. That's fine. Do I see a Nico Puka? Yes, sir. That's a fun start. 15 to get Nico at 15. That's got to feel pretty good. That's got to feel pretty good. Yeah, Yeesh is right. Especially if they stay healthy, for sure. Kyron hate is unwarranted. I just think it doesn't make sense for his build. That's my opinion on that. Thanks for the update on the update. Updating the update. Let's just bring in Caleb. I don't even want to tempt this guy of taking him. You never know. Let's just get Caleb here. Done at quarterback now. I'm sticking with Mayfield and Caleb. I'm going to be done. I'm not taking any more. No real need, in my opinion. No real need for it. Weird spot, but I'm going to pull up David Njoku. I just said in the last draft, I need to get a little more of him. And it makes sense with my Chicago bring back when I have the 2 wide receivers. That feels fun. And I want to get more David Njoku. So let's bring him in. And I like this team quite a bit. This is a fun one. Going to get the bag, the money zone, and lanes open up with Adams commanding more attention than washed up Cupper. Washed Cup. Butchered that. But yeah, I mean, he's just like, what's the stat that came out recently? Like, his explosive plays metrics are just like toilet level, literally. Plus the size that he comes in at with the amount of touches he's had, and he hasn't been paid yet. So maybe he gets the bag. I'm a little leery on Kyron personally. Mind you, I have been since like last year, I guess. Like his breakout season, I was in on him, not to the point where I wish I was. I was probably like 5 or 6% Kyron Williams, which was more than most can say. That's for sure. But I wish I had like, obviously I wish I had like 100%, but I wish I had like 20, that would have been crazy. And then I thought his price was too high last year. And I think his price is just, it's not necessarily too high. It's just in a weird spot. There's just like too many wide receivers that are going in this exact range and the elite quarterbacks as well. So I'm just not going to have a lot of Kyron. I'm really not. Like it's just a perfect storm that goes against Kyron's like value for me. There's just too many other things going on at this section of the draft that is going to lead for me to not have very much Kyron. So it's not really like I'm fading him because I don't like him or I don't like him as a player or anything like that. It's really not. It's just that he doesn't make sense for my builds the majority of the time in the section of the draft he's going in. That's just what it boils down to. So it's not even like a take thing. It's just it just doesn't make sense to click him very often thing. Man, Kraft would have been an insty click. Same exact reason for the Njoku thing. That would have been really fun. Let's bring in some juice and get some Bayshall Tootin in our running back room. We've got Derrick Henry. We've got HN. We're set there. Let's get some juice in the room. It would have been an insta smash with Tucker Kraft there. And then I probably would have stopped at 2 tight ends as well, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to take Colston Loveland. I don't want to triple stack. I don't want to triple stack much at all, but I don't want to triple stack the Bears either. I just don't. Let's take Ray Davis. Yeah, let's take Ray Davis. I was thinking Kyle Williams there. I was even thinking Javonte, oddly. Not a big Javonte drafter, but I was definitely kind of thinking that. But let's take Ray Davis. We can kind of afford to shoot for upside, which is definitely not Javonte Williams. Is it allowed to be put in the queue? I thought Sidekick had to do it. You click the star from the website. Maybe I'm wrong. You have to click buttons with the overlays. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. BTJ being drafted to the ceiling. Absolutely agree with that. That's why I don't think there's too much of a difference between JSN and DJ Moore and Brian Thomas. I don't think there's that much of a gap between those 3 players. So, yeah, Terry McLaurin or Brian Thomas, in a vacuum, straight up, it might be Terry McLaurin. Garrett Wilson, maybe. Hard to say, but he's definitely being drafted at a ceiling. I'll agree with that 100%. Not sure, but I don't want to get you all in trouble. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm going to let you guys have that conversation. I think Njoku moves up to or past Andrews, Kelsey. I would agree with that. He's already not far off from Andrews right now. Where's he going? I pulled him up. So, yeah, he's pretty much going right alongside Mark Andrews as it sits. So he could definitely surpass him. Kyron is the new Cincy Mixon. Yeah. I mean, he was last year and the year before too. So draft and enjoy the points while others don't like him. Fair enough. I mean, if you like him, take him. I mean, I'm going to be underweight Kyron for sure. There's no changing that. I'm going to be underweight Kyron. Wide receiver, elite quarterback, certainly reason to fade Kyron. Yeah, there you go. That's my reason. The wide receivers in the range and the elite quarterbacks in the range, that's my reason for fading Kyron. It's not like I hate Kyron at all. So that's my reasoning, and that's why I'm going to be underweight on him. And there's just no other. It's not going to change. Nothing else is going to happen with that. It is what it is. Let's take Quinton Johnston. Like we talked about the Trey Harris situation. If that means Quinton Johnston rises, then I definitely want to gobble up as much. I need a wide receiver here regardless too. So let's do that. Let's do that. Done at quarterback. Running back room is strong. Need some wide receiver help. Is this a Jack Besh click? Might be. Jaden Blue might have been a click there. I might take Jalen McMillan here, which is a little weird, but I kind of like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Regardless, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to take Kate Otten. Number one, I have 1,000,000 pounds of Kate Otten in my bags. Number two, I kind of want a little bit of this Emeka Egbuka, Jalen McMillan double stack with Baker. I have every iteration of a Tampa Bay Buccaneer Baker Mayfield stack, including the running backs. I don't have this one. This is the first time I have Egbuka and Jalen McMillan. With the injury history to Chris Godwin, obviously, and the potential, of injury, cliff for Mike Evans, I think that's viable. Obviously, the Tristan Wirfs news hurts a lot, but he should be back. It's just a cleanup. He'll be back this season for sure. He's not missing the whole year, and it'll be back to business as usual once he's back. Yeah, definitely. Wide receivers get pushed up in underdog, half PPR. We know that, but HN's a smash, especially in a half PPR or in a full PPR, even more of a smash, obviously. Nice. That's good to know. That's good to know. Tire schedule to search for a limb schedule and bye week stuff if you want. That's good to know. I got to get the new overlay. As soon as I'm done, we're putting the new overlay on. That's for sure. Craft something. Njoku, Craft's quarterback, pretty much the same person by EOY if Sanders isn't an upgrade over Joe. Hyper target short area. There's a lot of words I don't understand in here, Index. There's a lot of things I don't exactly understand in this one. But either way, I like both of them. I like Kraft, I like Njoku, and I need to get more Njoku. I have to focus on getting Njoku more intentionally and more frequently into my lineups, especially where it makes sense, which it does here as being a bring back. Like it would have been great to get Tucker Kraft and Njoku when I have Caleb Williams with two wide receivers. Like I don't like to pair up the tight ends. I just don't. So that would have been real nice. This is Mike Gesicki for sure. Need a tight end here. Mike Gesicki is the guy. Not a lot of correlation with this team, and I would like to get some more, which is why Kraft would have been perfect, because then I would have been fully kind of correlated up with the Chicago side. I'm probably only going to take one more running back. And let's do Will Shipley because it's fun. I think that's the correct click. I think that's the correct click. So let's do it. JSN's QB goes down. JSN on a bust watch. I don't mind Drew Lock, man. Like Drew Lock can sling it. He can go out there and sling it. He can go out there and throw 15 touchdowns and throw 15 interceptions. He can give us a lot of Jameis Winston vibes. Like I don't mind it, and I'm going to bet on the talent on JSN. So you could be right, but I'm going to bet on the JSN talent, and Drew Lock can sling it, man. Like I know a lot of people underestimate Drew Lock, but he's a professional quarterback. He's a professional backup quarterback. I will specify, but he's a professional NFL quarterback, and he can sling it, especially in a situation where I don't give a fuck. Throw caution to the wind. They'll be a bad team. They might be a bad team with Sam Darnold. So go out there and sling it. I'd bet on JSN's talent personally. Kraft over Njoku with respect to got you. I don't know all the acronyms, man. I'm old again. I might not look it, but I'm old. Someone just thought I was 30 the other day. I was like, man, appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm much older than that, but appreciate that. Oh man, if he falls into my face, do I just take Kate Otten? I guess 23 picks past ADP. All right, I'll take Kate Otten if you must let me have him. If not, it'll be Terrence Ferguson just because he's funner. And then it's another wide receiver. Man, I guess I just take Kate Otten then. Okay. I don't love to overlap bye weeks, but with my tight ends, but it's fine. We're doing it. We are doing it. And then Ray? Coker? Let's just take the better player, in my opinion. Mind you, the best player is probably Keenan Allen. Let's take Keenan Allen. That's the best wide receiver available by a good chunk. So let's do that. Another glass. Cheers to winners. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. Appreciate you guys coming out. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 600. We're almost there. 600. Jeez, we're getting there. Love it. Appreciate you guys coming out. Hit that like button, subscribe button, share it. You know, all the stuff helps us out. I got boxed at QB. Let's take a look at everybody's team. We got a little bit of time. Let's take a quick rundown of everybody else's team. We'll run down mine. And then we'll get out of here for the night. So we got Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams. I like that. I'm happy to stop at 2 anytime I can. I'm zigging when everyone else is zagging. When the 3 QB bros are out there, I'm doing the opposite. I'm gonna get 2 quarterbacks as often as I possibly can and stop there as often as I can. So that's what we did. Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams. We got Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, Bashal Tutin, Ray Davis, and Will Shipley. I really like the texture of this room. I really, really like the texture of this running back room. That's fun. That's really fun. Obviously, it relies on these two staying healthy, but like that's why we draft. We draft like we're right. We draft like they're staying healthy. And then I've got some upside, some injury contingency. You know, that's a fun room. Jackson Smith and Jigba, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Juwan Jennings, Emeka Egbuka, Quentin Johnston, Jalen McMillan, and Keenan Allen. I really like the texture of this wide receiver room too. That's really fun. 3rd-year guy, 2nd-year guy, established vet, rookie, 3rd-year guy, 2nd-year guy, established vet. That's fun. That's really fun. Double stacked Chicago. I've got double stacked Tampa Bay with a tight end as well. I like that. And then, yeah, my tight end room's fun as well. David Njoku, Mike Gesicki, and Kate Otten. I've got some correlation in there a little bit. Not a lot. Probably would like a little more correlation, but that's okay. I think it can still definitely work. It's a fun room. This is a fun team. I like this team. That's a fun one. We got P-Punch over here. Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers. We'll see why he took Aaron Rodgers, but I would have stopped at 2. But we'll see why. I mean, maybe P-Punch is an RB bro, or sorry, a 3 quarterback bro. Hard to say. Missing 1 pick. Fired in the chat who you got with your last pick there. And we'll judge it. Probably a wide receiver, I'd imagine. 3-5-7-3. Bucky Irving, Ramondre Stevenson, Isaac Guerrero, Tyler Algier, and DJ Giddens. I love me some DJ Giddens. Well, he's, I think, my highest drafted player, period. I'm not a big Bucky Irving at cost, but at 25, a little bit of a discount, I'm okay with that. On the other side of round 3, I'm okay with that. Ramondre Guerrero. Little fragile, definitely a little fragile in the RB room. I probably wouldn't have taken Rodgers, thrown another running back in there. Let's see what the wide receivers look like. Mix it up. Taj Brooks. So another running back. Okay. That's so 3-6-6-3. Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Keon Coleman, and Rashid Shaheed. I like it. I'm not a Rashid Shaheed drafter, but a bunch of value pick-wise, so I'm okay with that. I'm not really drafting Rashid Shaheed, but again, doesn't mean I'm right. That's for sure. Pairs up with Justin Fields, little bring back. Bowers, Jonnu, and Henry. I mean, the Pittsburgh makes sense with Metcalf and Jonnu. That's why we took Rodgers. I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't have Justin Fields then. I'd be okay with Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers. I would have thrown another wide receiver in here, and I probably wouldn't have taken Derrick Henry. Anytime I'm taking a Bowers and a Burrow, I'm probably only taking 1 more tight end and 1 more quarterback. That's just where I land on it. Again, doesn't mean I'm right. That's just the way I go about it. I'm zigging when others are zagging. Everybody's pretty much trying to take a lot of this 3-5-7-3, 3-6-6-3, 3 quarterback, 3 tight end type of stuff. I'm trying to do 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. That's what I'm trying to do right now personally. Let's see what Darkside Dev did. He had an interesting start. He goes CJ Stroud and Cam Ward. Little on the fragile side, but I mean, I don't hate it. It's a little fragile for sure. You're going to need a big season out of either Stroud and or Ward. That's risking it. If it's this kind of a quarterback room, I am taking a third typically. But I don't hate I don't despise it. That's for sure. I'm not saying it's the worst I've ever seen. Brees Hall, Marion Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, Nick Chubb. I'm not drafting Nick Chubb either. And I'm not drafting a lot of Javonte Williams. Got tons of discount. At that price, I'm drafting Javonte Williams, that's for sure. So I like this room. This is a good texture. I like it. 2 rookies, some vets. I like that. That works. Neighbors, Worthy, Ridley, Debo, Higgins, Kirk, Iomanor, and Tesla. I don't mind that. Hampton's the bring back on the Houston side, which I don't mind. Double stacked Houston with Stroud. Ridley and Iomanor double stacked Tennessee. Not much for correlation. Not that that's the end of the world, but in weeks 15 and 16, 16 and 17, there is some correlation, so I don't mind that. I have similar amounts of correlation. Mason Taylor with Tyler Warren, that's also pretty thin. I like this build, the 2682. I like the build, but I'm not sure we can get by on the pieces at tight end and quarterback. I'm just not sure we can get by on that, but I appreciate the build. That's for sure. And then it's Huhames, and that's all we got. So let's check out Huhames' squad. Drake May, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. I like that. A three quarterback room. I like that. That makes sense. Typically, I don't love to overlap bye weeks, but it's earlier. Week 8, both should still be starting, most likely without injury. And Drake May is there, so I don't mind that. Gibbs, Warren, Spears, White, Dylan Sampson, and the old Damian. You just can't quit Damian Martinez, eh, Huhames? Just can't quit him with Sam Darnold. I'm not so sure about that click. I would have done literally anything else, but maybe Damian Martinez is the guy you need. If you're gonna do it in a $5 puppy. So I don't hate it. Lad McConkey, Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams, and Marquez Valdez Scantling. So backstacked the Darnold, got boxed out at quarterback, he said. So he goes ahead and backstacks Sam Darnold. We've got Drake May with Stephon Diggs and Kyle Williams. That's all right. Don't mind that. McBride and Hawkinson. That's a nice tight end room. That's for sure. That's for sure. So you obviously got sniped on both Goff and or McCarthy. That's for sure. So that's unfortunate. Hoping they'd fall. How did this QB room go? Huhames there. Where did Goff go? Jeez. 108. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem. But probably should have just taken JJ McCarthy instead of Drake May, I guess. The badge list just did you in. The badge list just did you in. Mind you, that makes sense. He has Laporta. He has Justin Jefferson. Like, he's going to take him. I would have just taken JJ McCarthy over Drake May, as odd as that sounds. Definitely would not do that. Like, in a nutshell or in a vacuum, it's Drake May over McCarthy. But for correlation's sake, yeah, that's how she goes. That's how she goes. No worries, man. Appreciate you popping in, Peanut Punch. Appreciate that. Yes, I'm worried about quarterback a bit. Yeah, I'm not breaking news to you. You know what you're doing. It's a tough one. I usually like to have a mobile quarterback if it's only 2. So do I. I like that take. So do I. I like to have that ceiling, which is, I'm sure, what you're getting at as well. I like to have that ceiling and then, typically a floor guy, typically in the same range of quarterback, like Goff, Kyler. Goff, Kyler is perfect, right? They fit together nicely. Ceiling, floor, bing, bang, boom. Did it for the lulls. There you go. I didn't get sniped on JJ. Well, didn't get sniped, no. But it's unfortunate that he went for what you were doing. But that's all right. Just played out poorly. They both did things that make sense. Did the golf drafter? Oh, he's the Amon Ra. Okay. Montgomery does the okay. They did. Okay, fair enough. You're nicer than I am, Who Hames. I would be more rude about it, but fair enough. We're gonna get out of here for the night. BBG's live. Go watch BBG's channel. I'm gonna pop over there and pour myself another glass of wine, rip a couple drafts, do that sort of a thing. Appreciate you guys coming out. We'll be live. Actually, we got we got Jeopardy this week. I gotta study. I gotta get my ass in gear, do some studying because Justin Herzig is gonna fuck me up. I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna win this week. We'll see. I'm playing Justin Herzig in the first episode of the second round. I was the first episode. Me and BBG actually faced off in the first episode of Best Ball Jeopardy. Huge disadvantage for both of us, but whatever. I got the win. That feels good. And then I'm playing Justin Herzig this Wednesday in round 2. Probably gonna lose. Need to do some studying and, at least not embarrass myself, but it should be fun over on the Fanspeak Network. Go subscribe to those guys over there. Wednesday night, we'll be live on that channel, playing Justin Herzig, and I'll probably schedule something in right after to go live on this channel. So we're going to get out of here. Like I was saying off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We ship the puppy too. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. Have yourselves a great